Fantasy and fairy tales. That's what these chicks are on. Fantasy and fairy tales. That's what they like to entertain. That's what they like to think life really is. A real life fairy tale. A real life fantasy story. And you know, I'm quite partial to fantasy stories myself. You know, I love myself a little Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? A little Lord of the Rings. A little Mistborn, The Way of Kings. You know, shout out Brandon Sanderson. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I don't fuck with Twilight, but I can see how even paranormal fantasies like Twilight are, you know, how people can appreciate them. I understand urban fantasy, you know, things like Percy Jackson, right? I understand. Shit, even you get into the dystopian genre. Hunger Games, Divergent, you know, The Maze Runner. I understand. I can keep going down the list. Joe Abercrombie, you motherfuckers don't know about that. I've read them books. Half a King, right? The Lies of Locke Lamora. You motherfuckers don't know about real fantasy novels, but let me tell you something, because seeing as how these women seem to be experts in fantasy, in entertaining fantasy, you know, but they don't probably read real fantasy literature, not black women anyway. Let me just be very clear about something. The levels of delusion that you guys engage in is ridiculous. Now, I'm never going to sit here and make content for these strikes. I'm never going to make content for these Keishas. I'm never going to make content for them because I don't give a fuck about what they think. In the sense of, like, I don't care to have a conversation with them. I don't care for them to come here to the table or to come put their feet up by the fire and pull up a seat and, you know, get some wisdom. I don't care about none of that shit because they're never going to listen. They're never going to learn. And of the few who will, it ain't going to be enough. I don't care for them. I don't care for them. The ones who know better are already doing better. They don't need to be spoken to. So the entire reason of why I would make a video like this is for two purposes. One, because I made a video before earlier cussing out brothers, so it's just being fair, okay? But also because it's some bullshit. And whenever I see some bullshit and I feel like speaking on it, I'm gonna speak on it. Now, it's hilarious how this type of fairy tale thinking, this type of fictitious thinking is what we're seeing on display from both sides in such a close proximity to each other in a short space of time over the last week. Like, both you had the black men being delusional about the Japanese shit, the Japanese women, and then you have the black women being delusional about white billionaires. Now, I will say, it goes to show you there is a lesson to be learned here. It goes to show you how different the scope and scale is in terms of the delusion, though, because the black men being delusional about Japanese women isn't anywhere near as ridiculous as black women being delusional about white billionaires. First of all, the likelihood of a black guy going to Japan and getting a Japanese woman is, of course, way more likely than a black woman getting a white billionaire in America or anywhere, but especially in America. Like, the chances of that is ridiculously low, abhorrently low. So much so that the fact that even entertaining it is hilarious. It's damn near borderline, I would say, mentally ill to even realistically try and actually think that's an actual thing to pursue. But of course, you know, these are the same motherfuckers who be sitting there wearing all kinds of shit on their head that has nothing to do with themselves. So why are we surprised? These are the same group of people who do not even appreciate their own phenotypical hair. They don't appreciate their own natural hair. They don't actually want to look like what they were born as. Why are we surprised that they're delusional? Why are we surprised that they don't have any real self-appreciation? Why are we surprised? Like, that's what we're dealing with. And I have to say, man, to you guys over in the States, you black American guys, I'm sorry to say this. Some of you might get mad. I don't know. Some of you niggas on the plantation might get triggered. I don't give a fuck, but I'm gonna say it. You definitely do have the worst of them. You definitely got the worst of them over there. That's 100%. I would definitely pick a black British chick over here 100 times out of 100 before a black American woman. I'm sorry. You guys definitely have got the worst of the pick. Like, it's yeah, like, it's not even close. I feel for you. I do. I genuinely feel for you guys over there, because whilst the black women across all countries are pretty much done, I have to say yours is the most done. They're the most done over there. And I've had some experience with them, so I'm not just speaking out of my ass here. they are the most done. To be honest, American women in general are the most finished. But definitely, of all the demographics within America, the black American woman is, yeah. I don't know no niggas in other countries who checking for them. I don't. I've even heard some guys talk about American women, like white American women, for example. But it's more a case of just wanting to smash them. Like, it's not really a thing of, like, yeah, like they're talking about, yeah, man, American women, they're good for relationships and marriage. No, I've never heard a dude say that before outside of America. So anytime these American women acting like foreign men are checking for them, men in Europe are checking for them, nigga, I live here in Europe. I'm around people from all the different countries in Europe. Nobody's checking for you chicks. At best, what you're gonna get is dudes who want an American citizenship and they're thinking about how they can finesse that. That's the best you're gonna get. And you ain't really getting that from European dudes because they don't give a fuck about being American citizens. Most Europeans don't look at America in a favorable way. I'm just gonna be real. So they're not looking at it like that. But some of them dudes maybe over in South America or in the Caribbean, you know, in the islands, yeah, they might be looking at it like that. You're a meal ticket, of course. But outside of that, man, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't. But of course, you don't care about that. Anything outside of the black American man is gonna make you feel like you've got something going on. It's gonna make you feel like, oh, you're doing better. You know, even like the times when you try to elevate African men over them and this, that, and the third, like, it is what it is, you know. But I shouldn't really have a dog in that fight, but I'm just saying, I see the bullshit for what it is. I see the delusions, and it's nonsense. But, you know, there's the same group of people who sit there and read fucking fan fiction and, you know, romance novels written by fat, overweight, single mother women who, you know, are dropping fucking self-published novels on Amazon with the premise being a fucking billionaire, a white billionaire who goes out of his way to chase, not you know, not approach, not kind of just, you know, slide in her DMs, no, chase obsessively after a single mother with 6 kids from 7 different niggas. And you're like, wait, 6 kids from 7 different, wait, what's going on? That's the twist. Who's the 7th nigga? Where's like, this is the type of ridiculous shit they're reading. And I'm not joking. That's legitimately like a lot of premises, like, you know, them actually sitting there reading novels about a dude who's got a lot of money. Like, he's never just a regular guy. And even if he's like, oh, he's just a mechanic, he's just a farm hand, he's the stable hand, even if it's like that, he's still, you know, he's 6'5" and he was a giant of a man, and, you know, he had the hunter piercing eyes, and like, he's got the jawline. Like, he's never a regular nigga. Like, we all know this. It's got to be a fantasy. And you know, look, that wouldn't be too much harm if they just left it in the realm of fiction, but they can't do that. They bring that shit to real life and try and apply it here, and it doesn't work. And the crazy part about it is, you motherfuckers can see this shit doesn't work in real time, but you still keep entertaining the bullshit. You know, and again, I'm not making a video for these Keishas. I'm not making a video for them. I don't give a fuck what they think. Shout out to AC, Accountable Commentary. Shout out to him, because he always be saying that. He said he don't give a fuck what them Keishas think. Shout out to him, because it's the facts. I don't care what they think. Like, I'm not bothered about trying to school them or whatever, educate them. They're already finished. They're done out here. But the reality is, black men, you guys ain't too far behind them. But I don't want this video to be getting onto you guys, because I already dropped a video doing that. But you guys aren't too far behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Her lips were so plump, I had to have her. Come on, man. Oh my god. In the hotel that he owns. Like, nigga, what? He couldn't just take over dinner. He owns the hotel. Oh my god, bro.
You stand a better chance of getting what you want as opposed to what they want. You saying, oh, I just want to go get me a non-black woman. That's very reasonable. Very plausible. In fact, you're more likely to get a successful relationship dating out than staying in. It's the inverse for us. For us, it's the inverse for us. If we decide we're going to go and date outside of our group, we're actually stand a better chance of having a relationship that we want than if we stay within. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you start traveling, right? You stand a better chance. Now, a lot of you guys traveling are still goofy and don't know what the fuck you're doing, which is why the results are lacking in a lot of cases, but you still stand a better chance. You still stand a better chance. If you move with some sense, if you know what you're doing, you stand a better chance. Okay, you stand a much better chance. And I'm not the type of guy to say it's impossible in the West or you can't pull it off, but I'm just talking about chances, percentages. You have a better chance. You most certainly have a better chance than they do, because they're already in the land of opportunity for women. They're already in the place where, from based on women's standards and women's preferences, they already are in the place where they have the best deal. Just keeping it real, they are. If they're in America, they already have access to the men who have the best shit going on, generally speaking. Not always. They could go for Arabic men. There's some British guys they could go for. There's some men from maybe Australia, other countries. But if I'm just going to be honest, overall, by and large, percentage-wise, especially for black women, if they're trying to get with black men, the black men who are going to be best fit for them, really, are the ones right next to them. But they've shown and demonstrated over time how they're dismissive and unappreciative of those same men. So they're left shit out of luck. They're left shit out of luck. See, the reason why women of all other groups don't have this problem is because none of them wholesale just disregard their men. You see white women who are like, oh, the white men this, the white man that, the evil white man this. Yeah, you see white chicks doing that. But when you look at who they're pairing up with, though, they're still overwhelmingly trying to get with white dudes. And they don't come out online and try and besides like the crazy feminists, you don't see them wholesale trying to destroy white men's image. You don't. And again, even if there are some crazy chicks online, there's too many of them in real life that counter that. Whereas with the black women, it's the opposite. It's like they say a lot of crazy shit online, and the crazy shit they're saying online corroborates with what you're seeing in real time. So it's like the online shit matches the offline shit. Whereas with other race of women, it's not so much. It's like how you get Asian women. Asian women don't really talk too much trash about their men. You know what I'm saying? But they do have their opinions. There's Asian girls I know who have their opinions on Asian men. But, you know, they don't all look at them positively. And we all see how they chase after Brad. We all see the white worship. We see how Ling Ling loves to chase after them white boys. So we already know what time it is. But it's interesting how, despite how much Ling Ling chases white men, you rarely find anything online that really comes out of their own mouth about why they're doing that. You see what I'm saying? Like, whereas with black women, they love to talk about why they need to go get Brad. But the difference between them and Ling Ling is, where's the results? Where's the fucking results? And don't get me wrong, even here in the UK, I see black women who get white men and stuff. Yeah, I see it. I've got some in my family, I see it. But by and large, they're not picking you like that. And even when they do pick you, a lot of the time, the black woman is like, she has to assimilate or change herself, or she's already the type of black woman who would be a fit for a white guy because she's already got a good manner and a good way of presenting herself. But it's hilarious how those types of women who are well-mannered, it's interesting how they skip over black men though. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how they skip over the well-mannered black man and go straight for Brad. I could make a whole video about that. But it's interesting how the well-mannered, you know, the well-mannered, well-presented, intelligent black guy, he's always usually skipped over for Brad or just any other non-black dude. It's like they want to just do anything to perpetuate the bullshit idea that those type of black guys just don't exist. You know what I'm saying? And if they do exist, it's like they do everything in their power to just sidestep them. It's like they just want to have the excuse to be able to say all niggas ain't shit. So they only want to entertain the pookies, have that be the reference, and then whenever there's a black decent man, they just want to kind of act like that motherfucker don't exist. And go straight to Brad and say, see, this is why I don't deal with black men, because they're all pookies. When you know damn well that ain't the case. But to do with this specific situation of them entertaining a white billionaire, and the dude even had to come out and let it be known. He had to let it be known. Set the record straight and be like, nah, I didn't say none of that. I don't know that woman. I don't know what they're talking about over there, but that shit ain't what it is. Yeah, I love my wife, but she, you know how them white boys do. You're one of the good ones. You know, because you know them other white boys pulled him to one side. And we're like, is this really what you're saying, Brad? Brad, I know, Brad. I know you didn't tell them folks that. I know you didn't tell them folks that we be checking for them that. You know what's happened? It's like, you really say that? That boy was probably down in the country club with them good old boys. And they had to pull him by his ear and be like, now, Brad. Now, we've been real nice in taking in and being accepting of you and your little house nigga right there. But I know damn well you didn't go out there and tell them folk that we be checking for them. I know you didn't tell them now that we interested. I know we didn't say that now, did you? You know that Brad, he had to fucking jump on that shit and be like, oh hell nah, let me clear this shit up. Like, come on now, you really think fucking white billionaires? Come on now, Brad the billionaire. You think Brad the billionaire is picking Keisha? Brad the builder don't even want Keisha. Brad the bin man don't even want Keisha. But you thought the billionaire Brad wants you. How that work? How? Delusion, fantasy, fairy tales, fiction. That's what you consume. And that's what you produce. And this is the reason why you'll remain the least picked. Your desperation is embarrassing and, quite frankly, exhausting to witness. It's no surprise that motherfuckers look at you and just wonder, when will you ever shut the fuck up? That's really what the world's wondering. The whole world is thinking, when will these strags shut the fuck up? When is it gonna happen? What day is it gonna be? Like, when are they gonna finally just wake up and shut up? But you wanna know the truth? Most of us have lost faith. We already know you're too far gone. We know you're done out here. We know it's a wrap. We know. But hey, you know, who knows? Maybe someday you'll come to your senses. Maybe someday you'll figure it out. I doubt it though. I doubt it.